Hello, welcome to Social Media Weekly, episode 14, July 2021. Social Media Weekly is brought to you by Virtual Palace Marketing, rehumanizing your marketing experience. My name is Sean.
I'm Jay.
This week's news, YouTube releases new to you discovery function. YouTube already has an explore section that suggests videos that you may be interested in based on trending content that other people are also liking. So that means these are the content that may not be specific to your interests, but they are also, it's just because other people are liking them. So YouTube thinks that, hey, you might like this kind of content. As YouTube's repository grows faster than anyone has time to watch them, the company's new suggestion tool tries to expand a user's entertainment scope and ultimately make them stay on the app longer. That's what they want, right? There's also an argument that doing this will further enforce the echo chamber a user is in, driving them further into one-sided opinions of any situation. New to you will be rolled out to mobile and desktop in the coming weeks.
Nice. All right.
So just to explain, right? Like on YouTube, you have this explore section where you go to explore, you look at stuff that you haven't watched before, but they are generally either of one of two things. Number one, it can be from the channels you have watched before, but new episodes that you haven't watched before. Number two, it could be trending topics, things that other people like. So YouTube thinks, hey, you might like them as well. But this new to you section, what they're trying to do is they're trying to feed you new content based on the interest and behavior that you have had, but you have never engaged with those channels before.
I think, what example would you give? Like for an instance?
Say for example, I like tech and I like to watch F1, right? So there are a gazillion channels out there that talk about tech and F1. I always go back to the few. And then in the new to you, what YouTube is trying to do is trying to suggest to me channels that I've never watched before on the same topic that I like, based on technology and based on F1.
Okay, interesting. It could be something like, let's just say right now you're talking about F1 and you're looking at tech, but then all of a sudden they squeeze in one small thing in between, motorbikes. Something like that?
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Yep. So these are the things, but there is a counter argument though, because social media has always had this problem where it puts us in an echo chamber. It means that the more we watch about something and the more opinion we have on something, like for example, the most classic example is politics, right? Whether you are left wing or right wing, and the more right wing content you watch, the more right wing content it feeds you.
True. Very true.
And based on that, you will never get a different opinion because social media tries to give you the content that you want, the viewpoint that you want, the opinion that you want all the time. So much so that because you don't see the opinion of others, then you think that their opinions don't matter.
Yep. Correct. Very true. Very true. Even if you think about it, like these days, even when you look at political things, it's only, if let's just say you think on one side, it's only going to feed you on one side. It's not going to show you on the other side. But I actually like how what YouTube is doing is just showing you a different side of a perspective, I would say, which that you might like. That's the beauty part about it. Yeah. At least finally, for me, I always thought that YouTube would be just videos, just people just posting videos. At least right now, they're doing all this initiative, which is very, very good, I would say. Adapting to the whole society in general, I would say.
All right, let's move on to the next one.
All right. Clubhouse collaborates with TED Talks. Okay. Having lost its initial hype, and now with competitors coming into the picture, Clubhouse is partnering with TED to try to gain some edge. Clubhouse explained in its announcement, beginning of July 12th, TED will host a series of rooms via their official Clubhouse club. They will commence the programming with Thank Your Ass Off, a weekly room hosted by the New York Times bestselling author and popular TED speaker A.J. Jacobs, and creative strategies and celebrates Clubhouse creator Miru Harris. Additional rooms for the summer and beyond will be announced in the weeks ahead. This collaboration will be the brainchild of Kelly Stotzel, the former head of conference and speaker curation at TED Talk that hired into Clubhouse last May. While collaborations like this will certainly bring life back to the platform, Clubhouse may need to pull more rabbits out of the hat if they want to stay ahead of their competitors. This is a new way, I would say something new for Clubhouse, because right now with the congestion, for an example, we have the Green Room by Spotify, and we have another audio room coming up with from Facebook. There is already competition for them right now. Being an audio platform, audio social media platform. For me, I say it's a good approach as they are bringing all these individuals. At least for me right now, personally, I'm a Clubhouse consumer as well. We have so much of random rooms here, and for me, I like to listen to rooms which actually brings knowledge to me instead of like rooms which just they talk random things. So yeah, what do you think about this, Sean? What are your opinions on?
I think it's a good take because working with TED is to me, to be honest, a very brilliant move, because TED has been renowned as one of the premier talking stages. Do you know that TED actually stands for Technology, Education, and Design?
Oh no, I thought it was by the guy's name.
No. So that was random. But in any case, I think it's good that for them to bring in more TED speakers to give talks and to follow up with all the maybe let's say a speaker talks about something and then they do follow up speeches or follow up sessions on Clubhouse itself, and it will bring a lot of people. And I think it helps position Clubhouse better as an educational platform, because Green Room was bought over by Spotify from another, it was another app called, I think if I'm not wrong, just over my head, it's called Locker Room. So Locker Room was it was an audio app, but it was focused in sports. It was those NFL, NHL kind of sports where you talk about, what happens in the locker room of, the sports games and stuff like that. So with this acquisition came the migration of a lot of people who talk about sports that carried forward into Spotify. So essentially, Spotify has two genres. One is people who talk about sports. Another one is people who talk about music, or people who just listen to music playlists. Because Spotify is about music, right?
Yeah.
So Clubhouse now has a good positioning with tech, educational, business stuff, and things that enlightens people. But what you said in your readout was true as well, because I think Clubhouse need to pull a lot more rabbits out of the hat if it wants to continue to stay relevant. Because if this happens to be a one-hit wonder, then Clubhouse needs a ton more hits in order to stay ahead of the rest.
Yep, correct.
All right, moving on. TikTok Unplugged is a live session with top creators. TikTok is launching a series of live sessions that feature top creators providing their insights and pointers for brands' TikTok strategy. The brand explained that brands should, quote, go beyond ads and collaborate with creators to get their brands in front of the TikTok community authentically. So the keyword here is that brands should not be advertising. They should go beyond advertising, and they should actually collaborate with creators to get their content and their brand names in front of the TikTok community authentically. As the platform grows in popularity and user base, many brands are still finding it very, very hard to organically fit into TikTok's methodology. I think we can all agree that TikTok is viral because brands find it very difficult to get into the attention of people. Facebook used to be like that, right? It was good because businesses are not there trying to sell them stuff. And TikTok is good now because businesses still have not figured out how to sell people stuff. Everything in there is organic, is by people. There is no brands trying to shove things down your throat and things like that, right? But what TikTok is trying to do now is they're trying to say, okay, they need to monetize. creators need to monetize. Everyone needs to make money at the end of the day, right? Nobody
Correct.
does anything for free. So TikTok says, this is how we're going to do it. And you cannot do it. You cannot apply the same playbook as you do on Facebook and Google onto TikTok.
Correct. And
Brands need to bring in TikTok's format into TikTok in order to do well.
So for me personally, I am not like, I wouldn't say I do consume TikTok contents as well, but I like this approach because it's a live session. So instead of the word collaborating, that is the beauty part about it. They want to work together with influencers and as well as brands, which is a different approach, I would say, comparative to from Instagram and Facebook as well. That's from my views. Good job, TikTok. You're doing well.
And I think what's interesting here is that TikTok is not trying to tell or teach people how to do things. TikTok is saying, okay, we don't know these things very well, but we know who knows them, the creators. So they organize these live sessions with the creators, where the creators will teach them, okay, this is how we do things. And if you're a brand and you want to work with us, this is what we think you should do and how we think you should do it.
And that's the beauty part about collaborating. You share thoughts here and there. It's brainstorming essentially instead of it's a one-way direction. But yeah, so moving on. This to all the WhatsApp users out there, you're gonna love this. Higher resolution image coming to WhatsApp. Finally.
Yes.
It's been too long, it is an ongoing effort to who users into agreeing with the controversial terms of use. WhatsApp has restored to actually upgrading its service offerings. This time, it is finally working on letting users send higher resolution pictures to each other without sending it as a document. Users will eventually have the option to either send image and videos in a higher resolution or compressed quality based on their data allowances. The setting is currently in development and will arrive in Android before iOS. Android users, you got an upper hand on that.
I have to say, of all the new functions that is coming to WhatsApp, this is the one that everybody celebrates the most.
Exactly. It's so hard. Like every time when you want to send a picture, like for me, see, I'm a freelance artist. So see, for me, when I want to draw, I need to see good resolution. Only then I can take, facial features here and there. And every time when a client sends me a picture, and it's horrible resolution, I can't do anything about it. I have to tell him like, okay, can you do me a favor? Could you send me an email? I have to go formal. Can you send me an email for this picture in order for me to draw? I'm like, okay. But thank God, thank God I don't need to use emails now. Finally, I can just use WhatsApp. It will be way much more convenient.
Yeah. So like I said, right, this is actually part of what Facebook has, what WhatsApp has been doing. Remember, I think it was late last year and early this year, they tried to force us into this very controversial term of use where we have to agree to share our WhatsApp data with Facebook. And a lot of people said they don't want it. So they actually wanted to move to Telegram. So a lot of people actually started to use Telegram, right? And then what WhatsApp did after that was they said, okay, you know what? We can't use this strong arm approach. If we want to get people to continue to use WhatsApp and agree to our terms, we have to improve our services.
Correct.
And in my opinion, that was a very good move because the more value we see, the more we are willing to part ways with whatever we have to give to them.
Yep.
To be fair, what data we have on WhatsApp and Facebook, they already have. The only issue here is that WhatsApp just wants to make the final connection. That's it, right? There is nobody in the world who use WhatsApp and don't use Facebook. Maybe 0.001% of the world's population.
There is a probability, but it's very darn low. Have you met anybody? Have you met anyone that actually just use Facebook, no WhatsApp? No. See,
especially Malaysia, because Malaysia is a WhatsApp community. Everybody use WhatsApp to a point where it's so entrenched, to a point where we use it for work now and we cannot remove ourselves from it. Everybody is expected to have a WhatsApp.
We're so entrenched to it till the extent we actually have our own name for WhatsApp.
What's up? Yeah. So yeah, this is good. This is good. I'm looking forward to this. I hope that it comes sooner than later. I'm on iPhone, so I hope that it comes sooner for us.
I mean, like both of us are on the sad part about it right now, but yeah, Android users, stay tuned though.
Yes, you guys will be getting it first. All right, folks, that's all for Social Media Weekly this week. Social Media Weekly podcast is available on Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. Our full videos are available on YouTube, and we post bits and clips on Instagram and Facebook. If you like Social Media Weekly, it would really help if you could rate and review it on the podcast video of your choice and on YouTube, so more can discover it. Social Media Weekly is constantly on the lookout for regular co-hosts to help us bring depth to the show. If you're interested, simply drop us an email at Shawn, that is SHAWN, at virtualpeddlers.com. This is Social Media Weekly, episode 14 July 2021. My name is Shawn.
My name is Jay, and it was nice having you for today.
Stay safe. See you next week. Bye.
Bye.